Hello students, in this video you are going to study what is normalization and why it is needed. Also we are going to study about the different types of normalization, and then we are going to study the first type of normalization. So let's start. Normalization is the process of organizing the data in database to avoid data redundancy, insertion anomaly, update anomaly, and deletion anomaly. So why we need normalization? First of all, because information is stored redundantly. So storing information redundantly causes the wastage of space or storage. Okay. Also, grouping the attributes into the relation schemas has a big effect on the storage space. Consider the following two tables: employees table having the attributes e-name, SSN, birth date, address, and department number, and the relation department having the attributes D name, D number, and manager SSN. Okay, department manager SSN. Suppose we were to apply a natural join to these two tables, then we would get the following output. Okay, so as you can see, this is the result of the join of the two tables. As you can see, this table, the output of the join, consumes a lot of space. Okay, it wastes a lot of storage. Also, department number, for example, for research, okay, the department number 5 in this table was stored only once. But here, the department number as well as the name has been repeated multiple times. Okay, so like that, similarly, there are other attributes that are redundant. Okay, that is repeated. So whenever you don't do normalization, most of the times the information may be stored redundantly. Okay, also when you don't do normalization, there are anomalies that exist. Okay, so basically there are three types of anomalies: insertion anomaly, update anomaly, and deletion anomaly. So let's look at them. So first example, we'll look at the update anomaly. So consider the following table having the attributes employee ID, employee name, employee address, and employee department. So as you can see in the above table, we are having two rows for the employee Rick. Okay, as is belonging to two departments, D001 and D002. Now since it's the same person, he has the same employee ID 101 and he has the same address Delhi. Okay. Suppose we wanted to update the address of Rick, then we need to update the address of Rick in both these tuples. Okay, so if you want to replace this address, it has to be replaced in both this. So suppose the address, new address is say X. To some reason, only one of the two rows say gets updated. Okay, then it will result in the data becoming inconsistent. Okay, because Rick cannot have two addresses at the same time. Rick cannot be in Delhi and Rick cannot be somewhere else also. Okay, Rick has to be present in both the addresses. Okay, so therefore it will result in inconsistent data. Okay, because it's not correct. Similarly, also assume that if suppose Rick was present in 100 rows, okay, there were 100 records for the same employee Rick. Then when we do a update, then that update would have to be applied for all the 100 rows. And if the update is not applied for all the 100 rows, it would have resulted in inconsistent data. Okay, so I hope you got what is update anomaly. Let's look at the second anomaly, insert anomaly. So again, we are considering the same table. Consider that there is some trainee that wants to is part of the company, and the trainee is not having a department number. Okay, the trainee, the intern has been given an employee ID, has a name, has the address, but has not been assigned to any department. Suppose this while designing the table, this table was defined as having not null values. Okay, it was defined as not null. It will not accept null values. Then having that new employee, the record, the insertion made into this table would have been not been allowed. You would not be allowed to insert the data for the new employee. You will not be able to simply insert the number of the employee, the name, the address, and leave this as blank, because it would not accept null values. Okay, because while creating the table, while defining the table, the employee department has been defined as to be accepting not nulls. Okay, so this kind of anomaly is known as a insert anomaly. So just because of one column data, we will not be able to insert in the rest of the columns. The next type of anomaly is the delete anomaly. Okay, suppose for some reason we wanted to close down this department. Okay, so because we want to close down and there's only one row for this department, I want to delete this row. Okay, I want to delete this row. If I delete this row, you can see this row also contains the information of the employee Maggie, who is having the employee ID 123 and is staying at the address Agra. So just because I close this department and I delete this row, it would also result in the information for this employee getting deleted. And as you can see, this employee does not exist anywhere else in the database. Okay, so this kind of deletion is known as a delete anomaly. Okay, because Maggie, why it's happening? Because this employee Maggie was assigned only to this department, and unfortunately, if this department is getting deleted from this table, then the data of that employee also is getting deleted. Okay, note, we are not removing the employee from the company, only we are closing down the department. Actually, the department is getting closed, so therefore the employee information should remain, but because the database has not been designed properly, it results in a anomaly, which is the delete anomaly. Okay, so I hope you got the idea. So normalization is needed to overcome the update, insert and delete anomalies. Okay, also normalization eliminates redundant data and ensures data dependencies. Also, normalization helps to store the data logically and reduces the space to store the database. So these are the following are the normalization types. First normal form 1NF, second normal form 2NF, third normal form 3NF, and a higher version of the third normal form known as the Boysen Codd normal form or BCNF. Okay. Please note BCNF is just another form of the third NF, a higher version. Okay. So besides this, we are also having a fourth normal form and we are having a fifth normal form. Okay. But we are going to restrict ourselves only from 1NF to BCNF. Okay. We are not going to be studying about this 4NF and 5NF. So let's see what is first normal form or 1NF. For a table to be or a relation R to be in 1NF, then it states that the domain of the attribute must include only atomic values. Atomic meaning simple or indivisible values. And that the value of any attribute in a tuple must be a single value from the domain of that attribute. Okay. So in simple words, it means that any tuple or any attribute cannot hold multiple values. Okay, we should be holding only single values. So let's understand with an example. Consider this table here having the attributes employee ID, employee name, employee address and employee mobile. Okay. As you can see here, two employees, that is John and Ron, are having multiple mobiles. Okay, They are having two mobile numbers. Sorry, it is not John and Ron, it is John and Lester. Okay, John and Lester. So John is having two mobile numbers and Lester is also having two mobile numbers. So therefore, the company has made an entry for both the mobile numbers in the same row. Okay, because this is the row for John. So both the numbers of John are stored here, obviously. Also, both the numbers of Lester are stored in the same row for Lester. Okay, but such a storage is not an example of 1NF. Okay, such a storage is not an example of 1NF. So whenever we see that multiple values are stored, okay, then such tables are not in 1NF. To put it into 1NF, we'll have to organize it in such a way that each mobile number for John is stored on a separate row. Okay, so let's see how to do that. So this is all that I've explained to you. So let's see how to put the table into 1NF. So now to put the table into 1NF, what we do is this row was perfect. Okay, all the attributes, all the tuples were having just one value. So we copy it as it is. Okay, the second tuple was having a problem. Okay, here this value was proper, this was proper, this was proper. The mobile numbers were two values were there. So we separate them into two parts. So this is stored like this. For the first mobile number, we repeat this information: employee ID, name, and address. Okay, and the first mobile number. Then we copy the second number here. Again, we repeat employee number, name, and address. Since it belongs to John, the ID and address of John is repeated. For Ron, again we were having just atomic values, single values were there, so we copy them as it is. Okay. For Lester was having two mobiles, we make two different rows. In the first row, we copy the address, the name, and the employee ID. Okay. We copy the first mobile number. For the second row, again we copy the ID, the name, and the address of Lester. Okay, copy the second value of mobile number of Lester's. Okay, now you can see each row and each attribute is having a single value, atomic value. Okay, therefore now we can claim that the table is in 1NF. Now, although the table is in 1NF, you can see that there is still redundant data. Okay, so to remove or reduce the redundant data, we will have to go to the next type of normalization, the higher form of normalization known as second normal form or 2NF. So in the next video, let's see 2NF. Thank you for listening.